is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and we have finally made it. We are finally covering Gundam Sentinel. In this light novel, we will meet Earth Federation pilots who are a part of the Instructor Corps located on Pazoon. As EFF takes back control of the asteroid from the Titans, the people are divided as many are pro-Titans Earth supremacists. This will soon lead to an armed uprising, so let's get into this. Universal Century 0085. Two men are hanging out as a GM towers over them in the repair bay. One notes that the grass is growing back quickly and grabs the soil in amazement. His companion is feeling melancholy and sleepy. This is Tosh Cray and Stoll Mannings. He is annoyed and wonders why he cares about the grass. Even if it is real grass, everything else around them is artificial. They are in a tin can, as Cray puts it. They happen to be inside one. Cray is being transferred to the Instructor Corps. He thought Mannings would join as well, but thinks he isn't qualified. He looks down at his leg. He currently has a prosthetic leg, and it is real looking and functions quite fine, but it simply doesn't feel real to him. He doesn't want to be relegated to a desk job, but it is only a matter of time until that day comes. He will most likely retire. He can't be a mobile suit pilot forever. A call comes from his pilot suit. He has to go, but tells him there is always work in the Instructor Corps. They casually say their goodbyes. They didn't know that they would soon find themselves on opposite sides. A wyvern is getting shot up, red alert blaring in the cockpit. The FF-08 GBWR Wyvern is a fighter craft designed to fly up and down Earth's surface. It has a delta wing and is great for supersonic flight because this resembles Zeta Wave Rider mode. It is used as a training aircraft for transformable mobile suit pilots. Piloting the fighter is Ryu Roots. The instructor informs him that the cadet has been shot down. This is a mock battle. The instructor says that the cardinal rule of space combat is to find the enemy first. He pulls up behind the instructor and tells him to watch his back. The instructor chews him out. Ryu is summoned to his commander's office. They are at the Federation Forces' third training base on the moon. The commander drops a fat stack of papers on his desk and goes over all of Ryu's past. 6 counts of disobeying a superior officer, 2 incidents involving injury, 9 counts of disobeying orders, and as many as 14 counts of disciplinary infractions. But his battle performance is damn near excellent. The commander tells him that the military is about teamwork. Ryu thinks this is all nonsense, and he tells his commander that there was once a time during the 1-year war that a pilot did change the course of war. Before he could finish his sentence, the commander cuts him off and tells Ryu that him wanting to become a hero is the problem. He desires fame. Ryu yells that all that matters is winning and tells his commanding officer that real wars don't exist anymore, you bastard. The commander slaps him swiftly. He hates everything about him and informs him that he is being transferred to an experimental mobile suit squad. As he leaves, the commander doesn't understand how the top brass makes decisions. North America, California. Federation Forces First Training Base. Josh Offshore. Wait, his last name is Offshore? Okay. Josh Offshore is training with a sword. I assume fencing because he mentions taking off his insect-like white mask. He prefers the sword over the gun as he feels a real connection. Offshore is really tapping into his inner Miyamoto Musashi right now. He is looking to get into politics later in life, so joining the military is a checkbox on that road. Josh challenges the instructor again. Later in the locker room, he talks to a comrade who informs him of their new assignments being announced the next day. Josh is certain that he will get the assignment he wants due to his background. He says that he wants to join the Instructor Corps. The next day, sure enough, he was assigned to the Instructor Corps. Student representative of the Federation Forces High-Level Military Academy, Eaton Heathrow, takes the stage during a graduation ceremony. Half of the people who enrolled in the academy have dropped out. This seems to be some sort of officers training specifically for senior officers. One must have 3 years as an officer under their belt to be able to apply. Heathrow stands next to Brian Aieno. During the 1-year war, he demanded unconditional surrender from Side 3. This earned him the name the Vulture Admiral. The Admiral is now the headmaster of the Elite Military Academy. This position is a thinly veiled demotion. After the war, the Federation ensured the more warmongering officers were neutered. Brian Aieno is no warmonger. He is merely a stern man who knows what he wants, and many hope for him to return to active duty. Ensign Heathrow has come a long way. The Admiral congratulates him. With this, he is certain that he could get his own ship. Lieutenant Brave Cod is leading a Hyzak team. They all head back to the asteroid Pazoon after doing patrol. This was operated by Zeon during the 1-year war and was used to create mobile suits that were destined for Solomon. The new Integrated Maneuver Propulsion Control System has 5 different modes. launch, cruise, space combat, landing, and walking. Thanks to the learning computer, EFF has successfully turned every pilot into an ace. Skilled pilots are still a necessity, but a grunt during this time had less to do, so to speak. However, sometimes the data collected from training is wrong. People are used to smooth out the rough edges in the training data. These pilots are known as imps. Brave Cod is one of these pilots. Mechanics do landing procedures on the mobile suit, as Brave just sits there doing nothing but growing impatient. Brave gets out of the cockpit and floats to the top of the hangar, where he sees a new mobile suit. He grabs the closest mechanic and asks if this is a Xeon design. The tech says that it is slightly, but it integrates their own technology. Brave wonders if this has Anaheim Electronics' hands on it. The unit is actually made in-house. They're calling it the X series. This one is Xeku One, also called the Xeku Eins. The RMS-141 Xeku Eins is a mass-produced mobile suit that will be used by the new Decides. This mobile suit has 3 known configurations. Type 1 is the standard config and uses a beam rifle and grenade launcher, as well as additional propellant tanks. The tanks can be replaced by beam sabers. Type 2 is a long-ranged assault type. It has a long-range beam smart gun and a radome on its shoulder. Type 3 is a heavy assault type designed for attacking space fortresses. It adds a large 120mm machine gun and carries 6,000 rounds in each drum. Additional options include a clay bazooka, magazines, and a smoke discharger. Other weapons include a 3-tube missile pod and a Sturmfaust. Cod is naturally curious about this new suit. He eventually makes his way towards the airlock and into the asteroid, where he runs into the commander of Pezun, Captain Burt. He informs Cod that he has transfer orders for him. He is being transferred to the Instructor Corps, but the Instructor Corps will be using Pezun as their base of operations. Cod was instantly excited, thinking he would be getting a chance to go back to Earth, and then it was instantly shattered when he realizes that he was going nowhere. The captain, however, will be returning to Earth to finally reunite with his wife and kids after 5 years of being apart. The new base commander will arrive in 1 week. Cod is envious as he thinks he will never have a family. Recreations on Pezun is minuscule compared to the Earth, the Moon, or the colonies. Cod mentions that they utilized the Women's Reserve, or WAVES. WAVES in the 1940s was a naval initiative to fill clerical and technical support roles during World War II. It seems that EFF did a similar initiative. However, this is post-1-year war, which means post-colony drop and half of humanity has been decimated. When you lose that many numbers to genocide, many of the women have been resorted to building families and growing humanity again. So the WAVES initiative isn't as big as it once was. All of this to say that Cod is getting lonely and probably a little horny. The captain tells him that they are leaving him with a new toy. Cod interrupts and asks if it is the X series. He seems to be well informed. Dr. Carroll notes that Ryu was chosen to be a part of the Cheshire Cats, a select group of candidates, one of which will become the pilot of a new machine. He also notes that this mobile suit will be installed with Alice, or advanced logistics and in consequence cognizing equipment. That's a stretch. This is an AI that will be able to make independent decisions and fill in the gaps of the IMPC system. This will lead to the production of unmanned mobile suits. Alice is like a machine learning computer. It needs to grow up. Alice is currently in its adolescence. When younger, you need a mother figure, but once you reach adolescence, you need a father figure. The man that would help bring Alice into adolescence is codenamed Cheshire Cat, named after Lewis Carroll's famous novel. Once she reached this stage, she was combat ready, and when that happened, EFF personnel went down. This is because Alice is loyal to EFF, more so than any other human soldier. She exposed those who used their position for political power and saw a lot of bloat in the system. Dr. Carroll mentions an accident that killed one individual in the past. There have been many attempts to sabotage Alice from within. Carroll looks on at 12 potential candidates, all who look like hooligans to him. 2 of the candidates begin fighting. A drill sergeant punches them and puts them in line. These 2 are Ryu, Roots, and Shin Crypt. Carroll knows that Ryu's father died during the 1-year war. They can't ignore that perhaps Ryu may have anti-EFF sentiments. Both Ryu and Shin are sentenced to 3 days in the brig. Since then, 2 years have passed. In UC-0083, Commodore Jamatov Hyman established the Titans. This police force soon became the symbol of elitism, as their efforts culminated at the Colony 30 incident in UC-0085. Around the same time, the AUG formed. This was meant to suppress the Titans, but it merely emboldened them. It is now UC-0086 1987. The Grips War is in full effect. The EFF Instructor Corps was a part of the elite within EFF, and eventually became a part of the Titans. Of course, they all believe in Earth supremacy. Clay and Offshore are making their way back to base when they talk about the rumors. It has been 2 months since Castle Daikum made his appearance in Dakar and denounced the Titans. This novel brings forth one little nugget about the Grips conflict. After Quattro's speech, it gave the AUG legitimacy, and EFF main forces pulled support from the Titans, requiring them to fight their war alone. Recently, Jamatov died due to mysterious circumstances. Of course, the rumors of his murder soon traveled throughout the officers of Earth. This is the rumor the two pilots are talking about. Recently, Pazoon reverted back to EFF main command, but the people of the asteroid are split. Sit back and watch the two forces fight each other or enforce the Titans' rule on Pazoon. For Earth supremacists, the Earth Federation government's attitude of standing by in the fight against the Titans was seen as pro-AUG, which meant pro-Spacenoid. Cray, the one who was uncomfortable being in space and who wished for a life on Earth, is obviously pro-Earth supremacy. He refers to the Spacenoids as aliens. Offshore thinks this is a misunderstanding of Spacenoids on his part, but this misunderstanding would later lead to a great tragedy. And that will do it for our first dive into Gundam Sentinel. We get to learn all the players on the battlefield and the setup for what's to come. People are divided, and it will soon lead to a rebellion. The writer really goes into father figures and women in regards to the AI Alice, and it is a little awkward, but it is conforming to Japanese gender norms, which may be considered more sexist to Westerners. However, when so much of humanity dies, I could see us collectively reverting back to base survival needs. Women make babies, and men fight wars, even in an age of universal century. Next time, we will see the beginning of the armed uprising on Pazoon. Operation Maelstrom will play out, taking the Titans off the board, leaving only Axis, and we will see the pivotal Superior Gundam in action. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, it is racist to call a Spacenoid an alien. Peace.